Hello everyone, so this video is going to be a very quick video discussing 5 reasons why you should become a commercial pilot today. Now this video is going to be very conversational. I'm not going to edit it, so feel free to take the information and do what you want with it, but I'm going to cover these topics in a very brief format. Ultimately, I could go into a million reasons why you should become a commercial pilot, but I'm going to try my best to taper it down just into 5 main reasons. First and foremost, who am I? You're probably thinking, this guy's just sat in his t-shirt talking to me about becoming a commercial pilot. I am a commercial pilot. I'm an airline pilot. I've been an airline pilot for the past 3, coming up to 4 years. I fly for a short-haul airline in the UK, and nothing that I say in this video is from anybody else's opinions other than myself. This is entirely my opinion why you should become a commercial pilot. Now, first of all, we'll jump into the actual reason why you should become a commercial pilot, and the reasons, rather, you should become a commercial pilot. So first and foremost, in my opinion, the first reason you should become a commercial pilot is the flexibility of the job. Now, I know a lot of guys like stability in work. Now, I'm going to say to you why I prefer the flexibility, because a lot of people find that as a deterrent, thinking, you could be working weekends, you could be working summertime, wintertime, like there's no stability with it. But actually, there's a blessing to that, because with the instability of the work-life balance, you find that you end up getting a lot of days off, a lot of time to yourself. You get to go out when people are working. For example, today is a Tuesday and people are working right now, whilst I'm here talking to you guys, making a video discussing why you should become a commercial pilot. So the flexibility of that is really great. If you like to have like the whole cinema to yourself when you want to go and watch a new movie, if you like to be able to go during the week to, I don't know, Spain somewhere, just to book a flight out and visit your friends or family out in Spain, you can do that during the week. The downside to that is that, yeah, weekends you may be working. However, the more seniority with most airlines, this is how it works, the more seniority you gain, so the longer you spend at an airline, you then get to take what's called preferences with which shifts you do. So for example, with a lot of legacy carriers, if you've spent an excessively long amount of time at these legacy carriers, you end up building seniority. And now with the influx of kind of the commercial pilot shortage and then people hiring rapidly, you find that as soon as you join an airline, your seniority starts boosting up really quickly. So with regards to it, if you start increasing your seniority from an early stage, then you can then preference which flights you want to do. I know a lot of guys who fly for kind of airlines, legacy carriers in the UK, who have relatively good seniority and experience, that what they do is they can basically pick which flights that they do and which trips that they take. So if they wanted to go to Singapore for this week, they could literally put a preference in to say, I want to do Singapore this week and have this weekend as days off because I've got a birthday party or this and that. So they can literally pick the days that they work. Now, can you do that with most other jobs? No, you can't. I mean, the flexibility of our job as commercial pilots is fantastic. In my opinion, it's a fantastic incentive and a fantastic reason why you should become a commercial pilot. On top of that, because we're kind of contractually meant to be working all around the year, we also then get a really nice amount of leave. So what most airlines do is, with your leave, they give you extra days off in and around the leave. So they'll give you kind of maybe 1 or 2 days off before you start your block of leave, and 1 or 2 days off after you start, after you finish, your block of leave. So you actually find that you'll end up getting more leave than you bargained for throughout the course of a year. On top of that, some airlines as well do guaranteed days off or like requested days off. So if, for example, you have someone's birthday party, you just needed 1 particular day off in the month, then what you can do is you can request that day off or go onto the company system and put a request to get this certain day guaranteed off. And most airlines will try to facilitate that. Now, that being said, what is the second reason why you would want to become a commercial pilot? And I kind of hinted at it in that first reason in itself. I think one of the best parts of becoming a commercial pilot is the fact that you can just travel whenever you feel like traveling. Now, most airlines have what's called a staff travel system, and that means you get very discounted flights to basically wherever the airline runs in the network. Some guys also have staff travel with other airlines. So if the airline has a partnership with other airlines, then you can then get staff travel with different airlines within the aviation industry. So it's an absolutely beautiful thing to have and a massive benefit to becoming a commercial pilot, because, for example, if I had 3 days off, I could decide I want to go to Faro and spend my weekend at the beach. So I could just book a flight out and spend my weekend at Faro, or a few days off at Faro in Portugal. So I know as well, one captain who I flew with, he literally did this. He had 2 days off when we had finished working, and I said to him, oh, so what are you going to do on your days off? He said, I'm booking a flight right now to go out to Naples tomorrow morning, and I'm just going to have lunch in Naples, and then I'll take the flight in the evening back. And I thought about that, and I was thinking, wow, the fact that he could do that, just go and have lunch in Naples, is insane. Because he was like, oh, I really like the pizza in Naples, so I'm just going to book a flight out to get a pizza in Naples. And I just thought that's unreal, the fact that he could do that. And that is a massive incentive towards becoming a commercial pilot. The staff travel, if you're someone that loves to travel and loves to explore the world, then it's definitely something that you're going to enjoy using, the staff travel. Now, that being said, what is the third benefit to becoming a commercial pilot? Sorry, my camera basically just shut off because the internal temperature, something went wrong with it anyway. But yeah, the third reason why you should become a commercial pilot is the pay. The pay is absolutely fantastic in terms of your growth as well. It continues to taper and increase. So when I first started as a commercial pilot, I didn't really know how much I was going to get paid. I've made a whole video anyway, if you are curious as to what the question is and how much will I get paid when I finish. So feel free to watch that video, I'll attach it somewhere here. But to the same extent, if you are thinking about, well, how much will I earn, you're going to be earning very, very good. Ultimately, you're responsible for a lot of people's lives. You've got a high level of responsibility. So there is a reason for it. Not only that, you've paid a really terrifyingly high amount of money up front in order to become a commercial pilot. So there is that element to it. But that being said, you can pay it off very, very quickly. I mean, I paid this off within about 3 years once I finished. So I've recently paid it off about a year ago, in fact. So yeah, it's definitely doable, and it's definitely much more manageable in the long run than you would realize. I thought I'd be paying it off for the rest of my life, but actually you will pay it off very quickly. I'm currently earning in the top 1% of my age group for earners, so that gives you an idea of how much you could potentially earn, and the importance of starting as soon as you physically can, because what you're doing right now, if you've not started already, is you're wasting time, and you're going to be ending up, and that's costing you, really. That is costing you. If I had waited a year, that would cost me what my current salary is, and that would have been a painful thing to have thought about from that time till now. So the pay is a massive incentive and a massive bonus to becoming a commercial pilot. On top of that, with more experience, what you'll find is airlines are competing for you as a pilot because they want the best pilots in their airlines. Ultimately, all airlines want that. So if you've got more experience, you're automatically going to be considered a better pilot than someone that's got relatively low experience. So that means they're going to have more incentive and be more inclined to be paying you better, because they want you to be able to come to them as an airline. They want you as a person with a lot of experience to come to them. So how do they do that? They advertise it, and they do it by increasing the salary as you gain more experience. So the fourth reason why I think you should become a commercial pilot is the fact that you are going to be working a job that is highly respectable. I can't even tell you how proud my parents are in the fact that I've made it as a commercial pilot. I remember taking them on their first flight, me as the pilot and them as the passengers, and I just remember them feeling an immense amount of satisfaction and proudness, if I can call it that, as to the fact that I've achieved this lifelong dream of mine and of them. And that's something that it's taken them a lot of years to accumulate the money to help me with my journey, and then to finally be able to be in a position where I've shown them that this is what it's kind of amounted to, was a really, really gratifying experience for myself. And that is something that a lot of people really, really look forward to, and use as motivation on their journey. And I personally did. I used it as motivation. Making my parents proud, making those around me proud was a massive, massive passion and motivation for myself. So a big incentive is that you're going to be working a job that's very, very respectable, not only to yourself, but to the people around you. I mean, I used to cringe at it when I spoke to people and say, oh, you know, oh, I'm a commercial pilot, I'm an airline pilot. That's what I do for a living. But now I think about it, it's really, really a great achievement that if you are in a position where you're working towards that, tell people I'm aspiring to become a commercial pilot. That's something that not many people can say. So being able to do that, I mean, I've noticed it within myself every time I mention it. People are automatically taken aback by it. They're like, whoa, he's a commercial pilot, he's an airline pilot for a UK airline or whatever. He does that job, which not many people can do. Or even if I was to retract even further, if you were to say I'm an aspiring pilot, you will automatically gain a level of respect because it's a job that not many people can do, not many people can get into. So credit to yourself for even thinking about becoming a commercial pilot, because it's already for a lot of people a massive mountain that they're not even going to consider tackling. With myself, I don't necessarily show it very frequently. I'm wearing a t-shirt right now, for example, and even when I'm out and about, I don't necessarily like to mention my career and what I do for a living. But when I do mention it, people automatically appreciate and acknowledge that there is a level of dedication and hard work and commitment that I had to endure to get to this position, and they're automatically interested in it. And everybody that I say, whenever I say it, they're like, whoa, what's that? Like, what does that entail? How's that? And they ask me all these questions about the job. And in the same way, you've jumped on this video because you're interested. Like, what does it involve? What's the benefits of becoming a commercial pilot? Because there is an interest element to it. It's something that not everybody can do, not everybody does do. So you have that kind of angle in society that you're doing something that not everybody can do, which is a fantastic incentive to be a bit of a black sheep in the big crowd of things. Is quite a fulfilling and gratifying feeling. Now, finally, the fifth reason why I think everybody should become a commercial pilot and why it's such a fantastic job is actually because of the passion for aviation that you build within your work. I mean, when I first started out, and this is the brutal, honest truth of it, I wasn't really familiar as to what life was going to be like as a commercial pilot. I knew there was relatively good benefits to becoming a commercial pilot. Pay was one, staff travel, all of those things I mentioned before were some of the benefits. And I don't know whether or not my passion for the aviation industry as a whole was so deep rooted. I wasn't an aviation geek and I wasn't a plane spotter. I didn't do all of those things. My incentive to becoming a commercial pilot was a little bit different to most guys who are like plane spotters, avgeeks, and credit to those guys. Like, it's amazing that they have that knowledge. But for me personally, I didn't have that kind of backing. I was almost in a position where I was pursuing aviation for a completely different reason, not because I knew a lot about it, but because I almost didn't know enough or didn't know a lot about it generally. So I wanted to learn more. So with that being said, my passion hadn't been massive from the start with regards to the aviation sector as a whole. What it did build when I became a commercial pilot and I started working was that passion. Because when I started training and when I was doing all of the theory exams and everything else, I really hated it. I really thought to myself, this is like really difficult and I don't enjoy this at all. But when I got through the training, when I started at an airline, when I started earning money for it, when I started flying around the world and actually doing what I had set out to do all those years ago, that was the point where I thought, this is the best job on the planet. I really didn't think that I would ever say that back then when I was training and back then when I was doing all of these, going through all this difficulty. But now I'm in the position where I've done it all and I've been through that really trialing time. And I'm in a point where I now believe with my whole heart this is the best job in the world. And what you find as well is with more experience, it becomes even better, because you begin to be able to make better decisions, you begin to be able to be a better pilot generally because you've got more experience, and then you end up enjoying the job way more because you're less worried about making mistakes, less worried about doing all of these things that might hinder your progress, and you think to yourself, wow, like this is something that not everybody can do and something that I'm excelling at and that I can constantly adapt my mind to. Sorry, the camera cut off again. Now, it's just a very, very quick outro, but if you are interested in becoming a commercial pilot, go into the description, book in a call with myself. Now, on my end, I hope that this has been of some benefit to some of you guys out there. If you could do me a massive favor to support this channel and support my growth and to encourage me to continue posting more videos, to continue posting more insights, just leave a like, subscribe to my channel, and if you can as well, just leave a comment. It helps the engagement, it helps me get my name out of there, and then it encourages me to continue posting. It also encourages me with video ideas, so definitely leave a comment. If you have any questions, leave a comment and let me know what your questions are, and I'll hopefully see you very, very soon. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. Apologies again that it's not edited. I just didn't have the time to edit it. I've been really busy recently with work and everything else, but I hope you've enjoyed it anyway, and I hope that it's given you some insight. Thank you very much for listening. I'll see you soon. Thank you.